Get the Gloss. I hope everyone is well. So today I've been asked actually by a company I know who create amazing leggings. They are these leggings. Ta-da! They're called Hey Joe, these leggings. Just stand up and show you. They've got amazing like gold zips. They're really, really cool leggings. I have always loved them. This is not a sponsored post, by the way, but they've asked me some fitness questions and health questions. Yeah, I thought it'd be like quite an interesting vlog. So I said I'd do it for them because I'm a huge fan of their leggings. They feel amazing, I love them. They have asked me, you're the founder of the website Get the Gloss, tell us a bit more about it. So Get the Gloss is a website that I started up 3.5 years ago with a lady called Sarah Vine, who is a journalist. And the aim was to create a destination online for the very best experts in health and beauty. And in everything we do, we create daily news and tutorials, write a lot about health as well as beauty. We use the very best experts in the industry. And the idea was to cut through basically a lot of the junk on the internet and become a sort of destination online, and quite a stylish one at that. We really wanted the site to feel stylish, but we wanted it to feel warm and you want to come and hang out there and that we're your friend, because we're not interested in creating content that is just very unrelatable. We want to be able to help people, basically. So that's what we've done. We've won numerous awards. And actually the second question is what's in the pipeline. We're now creating lots of amazing downloadable guides. We have created recently a fantastic guide. Anna Hunter in our office has created a guide on the best brushes and tools. Aisha Mutakumaru, who has a column called Not Fair, has created an amazing guide all about foundations for darker skin tones. It's really, really amazing, thorough and amazing. One of our most popular ones is called Project Me, which is a health and fitness guide. Very achievable, very real, not about creating ridiculous sort of healthy things that people at home can't do. It's very real, it's a 24-week plan, and you can do it at home, you don't need a gym, and the feedback we've got from it has been amazing. Not only getting fitter, but feeling better. Some people who had panic attacks say the panic attacks have gone away, and we're continuing to just create the best content, and also we're working with quite a few brands now. So yeah, so it's exciting. What are the biggest beauty and fitness myths? I think one of the biggest fitness myths is that you can get in shape in like 10 minutes a week. You know, those ridiculous claims. Get washboard abs in 2 weeks, 14 days. Bollocks, you can't. I know for a fact I've got fit from scratch. And I know that it involves a huge amount of hard work. For some people, unfortunately, it's a lot harder than others. Some people are born with washboard stomachs. I definitely wasn't one of those. So it takes a lot of hard work. Okay, another thing that slightly health-wise frustrates me a bit is just healthiness has become so mainstream right now, which is amazing. But sometimes I think it goes a bit far. And I'm all about kind of keeping it real. You will never see me make a cauliflower pizza, for example. And I've written a piece recently, actually for Stella, the Sunday Telegraph, all about how people are putting loads and loads of ridiculous health foods in smoothies and that sort of thing. Actually, to the detriment of their own body. It's making them put on weight, it's not actually gaining them anything in terms of extra healthiness. So yeah, I think people are taking this healthiness a little bit far. And sadly there's also the rise of orthorexia, which has properly become a condition now that doctors are diagnosing, and nutritionists tell me they see a lot. And if you don't know what it is, orthorexia is basically an obsession with eating healthily and an obsession with eating cleanly, sort of cutting everything out of their diet until it becomes actually really unhealthy. Yeah, it's all about balance, and I think also just not taking it too seriously. You've got to have fun. I've got to have a gin and tonic on a Friday night. It's like, you've got to keep it real. What else? What are the biggest beauty myths? Well, I think one of the biggest beauty issues at the moment is people trying not to look their age, which slightly worries me. I think younger girls are wearing far too much makeup and it makes them look much older, and it's not necessarily an attractive thing. They just often have the most beautiful skin, and they look so beautiful, maybe with a little bit of makeup, but then they look about 28. I think they probably want to look about 28 when they're actually 17, and they've got contouring and shading and everything. I mean, obviously anyone can do what they want to do in life, but I think it's a shame sometimes there's so much foundation is caked on that you can't see people's skin. I think also older ladies, very much guilty of trying to look too young. Too much Botox, too many fillers. I'm not saying that people shouldn't do that, they can do what the heck they like. It's just too much of it. It doesn't make anyone look younger, it just makes them look weirder. I think that's the bottom line. I think very clever use of Botox and fillers can be amazing, can actually make people look incredible, but just don't overdo it. You've been working in the industry for a number of years. What beauty fitness fads are the most memorable? Since I've really been into fitness, I think HIIT training has been a massive thing. If you don't know what that is, it's high intensity interval training where you go really hard at exercise for a certain amount of time, stop, go really hard again. It's something that athletes have been doing for years, fries fat, boosts your metabolism and keeps your metabolism actually revving for days afterwards. That's something that's just going to keep going. Weight training has become a massive trend where people, girls are using weights. Girls are using weights like men and busting the myth that actually you get really, really bulky, because you don't. You actually can get really, really lean doing weights. It's such a myth because it's actually incredibly hard to build muscle. If you think about guys who've got tons of testosterone, we don't have any, and they've tried all their lives to build muscle, and some of them just can't. We don't have any of those hormones, and so when friends of mine say, oh, isn't that going to make me bulky? Really, really, it's not. But you do need some advice. You can't just go to the gym and start, I think, lifting weights, because you could do yourself an injury. So I would definitely get advice first. Beauty fads. I remember when Saint-Tropez Tan first came out, and I was working at Glamour Magazine, and I've always said that if those days when I was at Glamour had a smell, they would smell of Saint-Tropez Tan, because everybody coated themselves in this brown gunk and basically got amazing sort of self-tans. Obviously Saint-Tropez has moved on massively, and their tans have moved on. I still think it's one of the best brands for self-tan on the market. I remember when hair straighteners came out, the professional ones, the GHD ones, because before those you could never get a pair of hair straighteners that were strong enough. They weren't the same as the ones that people used in salons, and so they never got hot enough, so they never really worked. And suddenly these straighteners arrived from GHD that basically you could get your hair sort of glassy straight, and everyone for years went around with this poker straight look. I guess also in beauty, the trend for very sort of no makeup look, that is something that has been happening for years, and I think that has become such a staple of everyone's makeup bag because products have become so clever at mimicking the colour of your skin, the texture of your skin, the crease of your eye, etc, etc. The colour of shadow. They're so clever, and the tones are so clever, and the textures are so clever that that's why people keep using them. Whereas years ago, it was like an apricot foundation and, you know, a bit of a dodgy lip liner that didn't replicate the colour of your skin. But the next question is, what's your favourite workout activity of the moment? My favourite workout right now actually has to be doing weights. I'm doing loads of squats, I am doing deadlifts. I just feel a lot stronger doing them, and I actually feel really quite lean, meaning my kind of body fat is probably lower than normal, not in a ridiculous way, but it probably is. And also I'm doing this big bike ride around Ibiza in aid of Great Ormond Street in a couple of weeks, and the difference of me being able to go up hills and things, since I've been doing loads of squats and weighted squats with weights, is unbelievable. I literally feel like I'm on some drugs or something as I go up the hill. I really feel I have a lot of power. So I also go out running, I go to the gym, I go swimming. I like to mix up exercise, otherwise I think it'd be really boring. If you go to the gym, every time and do exactly the same things, no wonder you get bored. I really think you've got to find new, exciting things to do. What beauty products do you recommend for healthy looking legs? Right, one of my favourite products is a product called, I wrote it down, Clarins Self-Tanning Instant Gel. It is amazing. Basically, it's a self-tanning gel. It's in a bronze coloured tube, and I've run out of it actually, so I can't even show you. It is a clear sort of off-white gel inside, and it just creates the smoothest, most gorgeous sort of golden tan. I love it. I always take it on holiday with me because it doesn't smell, it's really easy to use, you can wash it off your hands. Highly recommend it. I also use a Venus razor from Gillette. Is there any other razor? I don't think so. I don't get waxed because I'm quite fair, so I just use a razor the whole time, all year round. And occasionally, I might exfoliate my legs, but that's only if I remember. What helps you get out of your comfort zone into the results zone? I think the thing that has helped me massively is actually sort of trying to switch off from the voice in your head when you're exercising. Because really when you exercise, things start to hurt, it starts to get hard, you're like, things start to ache, it starts to get uncomfortable. But that's the point when you've got to keep going, because that's when you'll start to see results and reap results. So to begin with, I remember I did that and I hated it. I absolutely hated it. I remember saying to the guy I train with, Steve Meller of a company called Freedom to Train, I remember saying, I hated that. It was a run and I hated it. It was so hard. And I remember him saying to me, it's all upstairs. It's all upstairs. Meaning, basically, it's all in your head. Because research shows that actually your brain gives out before your body does. Your body will keep going. So if you can ignore the voice in your head, it's that voice that says, stop, this is hard, it hurts, you can't carry on, awful, should be at home, should be eating cake, should be on the sofa, Game of Thrones is on. If you can ignore that, then you've nailed it. So sometimes when I'm exercising, or even if I'm doing squats and I'm thinking, oh, I can't do another rep, ignore that voice, just do it anyway. Just do it anyway. That Nike phrase, just do it, is the best phrase. So just remember that. What life hack has changed your life? The life hack that has changed my life more than anything is exercise. It genuinely is. I wish I had got into it when I was younger. I was into exercise when I was at school. I was in all the teams and that sort of thing, so I wasn't terrible at it at all. I was in the tennis team, I was in the netball team, but I gave it all up because I was very arty as well, so I gave it all up and did loads of art and stuff, which I don't regret for 1 minute. But it wasn't until I was about sort of 37 that I really got back into exercise, and I love it. I cannot go a few days without it, literally. It makes me feel amazing. It also calms my brain. I have a brain that just spouts off creative ideas the whole time, and it's very hard to switch it off. It just sort of brings it back to neutral. It's an amazing sort of reset. Also, research says that the person that exercised and took an hour out to exercise is far more productive than the one who didn't. If you could give a younger you one piece of advice, what would it be? I would say, don't sweat the small stuff. There's a lot of stuff that we get bogged down with in our heads, and we worry about the little things, the minutiae of he said this, she said that, my boss is like this, perfecting a sentence in your presentation, like whatever. It's much better to look at the bigger picture, because really all those tiny things, they don't matter. They really don't matter. What matters is your family, your friends, your loved ones, your relationships. You know, if you lost your job tomorrow, you'd get another one. You would get another one. A friend of mine, Nicola, she runs a company called Neon, which is an amazing organic bath and body range. She's once said to me a phrase which was, everything will be okay, and if it's not okay, that's okay too. And I love that phrase, because sometimes when you're thinking the world's about to end, just say to yourself, oh, she said to me, ask yourself, what's the worst thing in this situation that could happen? And once you've got your head around the worst situation and realise, I could actually handle that, then everything else is a walk in the park. Finally, how does wearing HIIT leggings make you feel? Maybe in 3 words, I would say, they make me feel, because I genuinely love these leggings, they make me feel sexy, leggy. You feel like you've got amazing legs for some reason when you wear them. And they make me feel super stylish. Because they have these amazing like gold zips, you can see here, and also at the back. And I wear quite a lot of gold jewellery and I just find them really stylish. They're super light as well, so they don't, you barely sort of feel like you're wearing anything when you wear them. And they're very soft, so they feel very luxurious. That's it, genuine fan. But those are my life thoughts. I hope you enjoyed it and I will speak to you guys very soon. Bye for now.